As 2022 is coming to an end, I wanted to take this time to discuss some of my favorite drones and drone tech in general that I was able to get my hands on in the past 12 months or so, because it's been a crazy year. We've seen so many new releases, whether it's small portable drones, big camera drones, FPV stuff, or action cameras. We've seen it all, and it's been a very busy year. And because of that, I want to point out those specific products that made a serious impression to me, making them some of my favorite drone products of the year. The first product that I can wholeheartedly recommend is the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Now, we recently saw the new release from DJI of the Mini 3, which is a more simplified version of this drone. However, I would say that this drone is a no-compromise product, coming up with pretty much everything you need in a drone, especially the one that is sub 250 grams, giving you a lot more flexibility and freedom to fly pretty much wherever you want to. So with this, you're not going to kind of miss out on anything important when it comes to flying a drone. You have 4K 60 frames per second, you have great performance in winds, you have flat color profile, 10-bit video, obstacle avoidance, quick shots, master shots, hyperlapse, all sorts of intelligent flight modes, even focus track can be found on the Mini 3 Pro. So you're not missing out on any important features that you can normally find on more expensive drones, and this still fits in the pocket of your jacket. So it is a very capable but also portable drone that definitely made a huge impression to me, and I can definitely recommend it. Now, this definitely doesn't mean that I do not recommend the Mini 3. However, it is much more simplified version of the Mini 3 Pro. So if you're looking for the best cheap option that will just get you in the air, if you don't want to spend too much, yes, of course, the Mini 3 is great. However, if you want to grow with the drone and kind of explore more out of it as you get better at flying, the Mini 3 Pro would be the better choice. The next drone that I can highly recommend if you're looking for a bigger camera drone is the Mavic 3 Classic. The Mavic 3 Classic, in my opinion, is what the Mavic 3 should have been when it first got announced a year or so ago. Because of that super aggressive pricing, it was super expensive for most people, especially the Mavic 3 Cine. So because of that, many people held out and didn't buy any drone when it first got announced. And because of that, I think DJI kind of went back to their roots, created something that is much more affordable, but still had all the features, all the cool stuff that Mavic 3 has, besides the telecamera, and then released it as a Mavic 3 Classic. So the Mavic 3 Classic is definitely a no-compromise product. Again, if you don't really need the telecamera, you're certainly not going to regret buying the Mavic 3 Classic, as it has exactly the same features as the Mavic 3, the regular Mavic 3. So you're not losing out on anything, and it still has that amazing camera, 5.1K or 5.3K. I'm struggling to remember all the 5 point whatever number Ks from different products, but yeah, 5K, 50 frames per second, at least that's what I remember for sure. It has amazing color science, still using the Hasselblad camera, and it's just a beast. And now, especially with the latest updates, DJI proved that they can actually support these products, giving us some more new features, especially the waypoint feature that was just announced a couple of weeks ago. It's a great new addition, and just makes the product much better compared to what it was, compared to what the Mavic 3 was when it was first released a year ago. So now, with the support of DJI, this product has continued to evolve, and it's certainly something that I can recommend. And that's not something that I can say about other products that have been released and then we stop hearing anything about them. No firmware support, no new features, no nothing. And Autel, I'm looking at you. Now, the next big thing that happened in 2022 is the release of the new FPV system from DJI, coming with the DJI Avada drone and the new goggles 2. Not to be confused with the DJI goggles V2. They kind of messed up on their naming, I think, but it is what it is. The goggles 2 are the new ones and the V2 are the old ones. Anyway, the new goggles are amazing, minus the foam padding on the nose. They are great to use. Definitely not the comfiest goggles I've used, but when you put them on, you will see what I'm talking about. The flying experience is just amazing, and they came out together with the Avada drone. Now, I'm not going to specifically recommend 150% the Avada because yes, it is a great drone. However, when it comes to FPV, I don't think anything can beat a real FPV drone. And I'm not saying the Avada is not a real drone. It's much more refined and a lot more improved compared to their first FPV drone that they tried to do, the DJI FPV drone. It's definitely 100 times better, and they're definitely going in the right direction. However, I feel like the customization and just the freedom of using whichever components you want is what makes FPV amazing. And with the Avada, you're kind of more locked into their way of doing things, but my Avada is not here currently. It's in a repair shop because I messed up and I broke the camera connector, so now I don't see any video in my goggles, but I should be receiving it back probably in the next week or so, and I'll be doing a long-term review on it. I have a lot of things to say about the Avada, and it's not like I'm not recommending it, but the product that I'm actually recommending is the goggles and this thing right here, the DJI O3 Air Unit. This is the product that I can highly recommend because I've been using it for maybe 2 months now or a month and a half. I'm not exactly sure, but I got it early and I was able to test it, and I'm so impressed by this air unit. I've converted all of my FPV drones to the O3 Air Unit, and it's a system that I actually plan to use for a very long time because I just love the flying experience, the quality that you're getting inside the goggles. The latency is not a problem at all for me, at least for my type of flying, and it's just great to be able to see where you're actually flying, unlike some previous iterations of FPV systems that I've tried where it's kind of blurry and messy in your goggles. Here you can actually see all the little branches, all the little details that normally you can miss, and because of that you can potentially crash or just lose a potentially really good shot. Here you can actually see a lot better, and because of that I'm a huge fan of the O3 Air Unit combined with the new goggles too. The next couple of products are the ones that I can highly recommend if you're looking to buy an action camera. And we've seen a lot of new action cameras popping out in 2022, and the ones that really made a huge impression to me are three: the GoPro 11 Black, the DJI Osmo Action 3, and the Insta360 X3. Now, these are three very different cameras, and to be honest, I also use them in a very different way. Now, I realize not everyone would go and buy three different cameras to use them in three different ways. So I will try to give you my point of view and how I use them, and maybe you can decide which one would be best for you. So the GoPro 11 is what I would normally put on my FPV drones if I'm not recording on the O3 Air Unit and I'm looking for the best possible quality with the best motion blur, with the flat color profile, with the 10-bit video, and all just the picture quality and the stabilization. Let's not forget real steady. I will be using the GoPro Hero 11 Black. That's probably my #1 choice. However, if I'm looking to capture some dynamic shots from the ground, not on a drone, and I'm looking to use an action camera that is very versatile, it's very portable, it's very small, and can be mounted on anything, I would probably use the Osmo Action 3. That's my kind of like my way of using the action camera. I've been using it on my motorbike, I've been using it on my helmet, I've been strapping it to pretty much everything I want to because it's very versatile. Like I said, it gives me great peace of mind knowing that it can capture some great footage. And now with the latest update, it also shoots 10-bit video, which is amazing. Of course, they caught up with GoPro and now they're kind of even when it comes to 10-bit video. I still feel like GoPro has the edge when it comes to camera quality, but when it comes to versatility and just user experience, DJI takes the cake. And finally, if I want to kind of combine these two and not worry about angles and not worry about what I'm going to capture, then I would definitely use the Insta360 X3. Now the X3 is different from the other Insta360 products because it's not only a 360 camera, it's also an action camera. You can use one of the lenses only and strap it anywhere you want to and still get that action camera look on your footage. You don't have to necessarily use it in 360 mode, which is great. They kind of killed off their One RS camera, in my opinion, with this way of working, because now you can just buy this and not have to, you know, change modules if you're using the One RS like you can on that camera. On the X3, you can simply enter in that action camera mode and you can simply use one of the lenses and shoot great footage as an action camera. And let's not forget the biggest power of this camera, which is of course the 360 video, which is great. It gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of freedom to kind of reframe your shot the way you want it to look afterwards in post, and not having to worry at all about where you're pointing the camera at. So that's the camera that I still can say I can highly recommend, but it really depends on how you plan to use it. However, any of these three cameras can be used as an action camera and can be the only camera you use. It really depends on your personal preference, on your budget, and also on which company you like the most. With that being said, guys, this is everything I have for you in today's video. I hope you found it useful and informative. If you did, you already know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for supporting me and everything I do in the past year. It's been really, really good, and I certainly appreciate it. Thank you once again. Happy holidays, everyone, and I'll see you very soon. Ciao.